All right, now that you know the loan officer's job, I'm going to give you a few key questions that you should be asking your loan officer in order to pre-qualify them to know that you're in good hands. I mean, anyone can give you general questions, and I'm sure your uncle does every night when you tell him you're about to buy a house. But what are the key questions? What are the potent questions that you can ask your loan officer? Let's start with number one. Do you work on 100% commission? A lot of people may be reluctant to ask this question, and they may be reluctant to work with people that work on 100% commission. However, if I give you this example, there's loan officer A works on 100% commission, loan officer B works on salary. Which one do you think is going to push harder to not only make sure your deal closes, but it closes on time? This is a very time-sensitive transaction. There are dates, contingency dates that need to be met. And if they're not met, it warranties the seller a reason to pull out of the transaction. So if this person doesn't get paid unless the deal closes, they're going to be pushing hard, as opposed to the salary person getting paid either way, checking out at 5 p.m. That's my second follow-up question. Can I have your cell phone number, and do you work after 5 p.m. and on the weekends? Because if you, as a buyer, are a 9-to-5 worker, which majority of Americans are, you're going to be seeing homes during the weekdays after 5 p.m. and on the weekends. If your loan officer is not working at those times, they're not being of full or maximum service to you as a borrower. Because let's say you see this house, it's one day on the market, it is hot. You want it, your wife wants it, and you couldn't agree on anything for the past 8 months. You know you need to come in, and you need to come in pretty strong. But at the same time, you don't want to show your cards. Let's say it's listed at $350. You're pre-qualified up to $400. You want to try to execute and grab it first day on the market at $340. You don't want to show your cards with a $400,000 pre-approval. Therefore, you need to get the loan officer on the horn to get you a pre-qual at the number at $340. Because if I'm trying to buy your shirt off your back and you know I have $80 in my pocket, but I'm offering you $40, you're going to try to maximize and get the other $40 so I pay you $80. It's just the fact of sales. So you need that constant communication and the accessibility to your loan officer. If they're checking out at 5 p.m., it is a disservice to you. Another question that I think is very important is, after you have the deal in contract, what does your processing department look like? You want to know the contact information of every department that you are going to be in communication with as a borrower. Because one of the major complaints I get as a real estate agent about the lending process is, I have people calling me that I've never heard of. I don't even know if they work for the mortgage company. I don't know what they're asking of me. I try to contact them back and I can't get back to them. And it gets frustrating as a borrower, because this, I guarantee you, because of all the regulations, this will be one of the most stressful periods of your life. So you need to know who you're contacting, who will be contacting you about the biggest purchase of your life from here on out. And since you have your loan officer's cell phone number at this point, if you don't understand anything, you want to make sure you ask them, can you be my key point of contact? Because if they're working on 100% commission and you can call them after 5 p.m., then chances are they'll always be your key point of contact. You can ask them all those questions that, say, the processors aren't asking or aren't answering for you. Because the processor's job isn't to be communicative, it's to collect the information they need to source so they can repackage the loan and sell it to another bank. That's exactly what's going on there. The processors don't thrive with high levels of communication. Typically, the loan officers do. So that's what you're looking for in a loan officer. And then after you get those potent answers, you can then go ask the general questions as of, how much do I have to put down? What type of loan am I getting? What are your origination fees? Will you be reselling the loan? What are your interest rates? Even though when you do ask that question, you're opening yourself up, because the interest rates are really contingent upon you as a borrower and your past history. What's your record? Because the more of a liability you are to lend to, the higher your interest rate is going to be. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home a year from now, really get on that. Get on top of paying your lenders or your creditors.